Why hello you amazing beautiful people, and welcome back to another anime reaction video. My voice is still a little bit croaky, but we're getting better every single day. So, about a week ago I reacted to every genre ever. And all of the comments on that video were like, this is great Luke, but you should definitely check out every anime studio explained. Come on. Literally everybody was saying that, so I think it's safe to say you guys want me to do this reaction. I'm actually really curious about this because in the world of anime, when it comes to the studios, my knowledge is very vague. Like, I know a few of the big names, but other than that, I don't really know a lot of the other names. And I'm gonna be surprised because I reckon a lot of the anime I love, I'm not gonna recognize the name of the studio, so I'm pretty curious about this video. I think this is gonna be really awesome to like learn a little bit more about these studios. So let's do exactly that. Please make sure you press that like button to support this reaction, and please make sure you press that subscribe button as well, and let me know in the comment section down below what other anime reactions would you love to see on this channel. And let's jump into my first time ever reaction to every anime studio explained in 17 minutes.
Studio Toei was founded in 1948, making it one of the oldest animation studios, and it's responsible for some of the biggest anime ever, like Dragon Ball, One Piece, Sailor Moon, and much more. Because they've been around for so long, they have a history that I can't entirely cover, but I'll try. Toei actually helped popularize trends.
Also, huge shout out the guy who makes these videos. Honestly, his channel is absolutely incredible. It deserves so much more love. His channel name is Ari Kendo. I'll leave a link to the videos in the description. Please go support him. He's awesome.
Like Magical Girls with Sailor Moon, or Super Mecha with Mazinger Z, and Toei Animation can generally be a mixed bag. Because they take on so many projects and have many different teams working on different productions, the quality can vary wildly. If you see that Toei is animating something, you should check the actual staff involved with that series, and that usually is a better indicator of the actual quality that that series will have. I mean, just look at the inconsistency in One Piece. Some of the episodes are jaw-dropping, but some are just like, eh. But one of the best things about Toei Animation is that their workers are unionized, meaning that they are generally treated amazingly compared to other anime studios. From what I understand, working on One Piece is a pretty smooth and positive experience. Studio Madhouse was founded in 1970.
I like that. I really do, because it's like I mean it's the elephant in the room, isn't it? Sadly, it's the animators who give us all this content that we absolutely love don't get treated that nice. So when you, like, in a lot of instances, so when you hear they are looked after, it really is pretty amazing to hear.
And is well regarded in the anime community for their sheer quantity of quality shows that they produce.
Hell yeah,
this
man.
is mainly because the former founder and CEO, Masao Maruyama, had connections to people like Satoshi Kon, Mamoru Hosoda, and Masaki Yuasa, some of the best anime directors, and they were able to consistently pump out bangers.
I like
they
the
made a
background
ton of
music
insanely high quality projects like Perfect Blue, Death Note, One Punch Man, Hunter x Hunter, and even just recently Free-Ren.
Hey, hey, One Punch Man, the good season? Come on, season 2 was good. Season 2 was good. I liked season 2 a lot. It gets a bad rap because of the animation, but the animation isn't even that bad. Come on, man, come on. Also, I just realized the background music kind of sounds like the Death Note soundtrack. Also, Hunter x Hunter, fucking peak. That anime is one of the greatest anime series I've ever seen. No, I am not joking. And Free-Ren? Are you kidding me? The whole season 1 is perfection.
Unfortunately, in 2010, a big split happened between Madhouse, and they lost a lot of their core staff. In addition, Maruyama left to make Mappa, which really hurt Madhouse in the long run.
He left to make...
surprisingly, they seem to have rebuilt themselves. And it looks like they're still capable of pumping out amazing shows, while still grabbing industry veterans, as shown with Free-Ren. And honestly, I doubt that fact will change in the future because of their legacy. However, just like other anime studios, Madhouse has had problems with overworking their employees. In 2019, a production assistant said that he worked over 393 hours in a single month. That's insane. And he ended up joining a union to actually sue Madhouse for the overtime. Studio Ghibli is probably the most...
That's the sad thing as well. Half the time when they do this, like, they don't get paid. Because it's like expected for you to like work overtime. It's like frowned upon if you won't finish your job before you go home, and it's not expected to be paid for it, which sucks. Because if you're working the overtime, you 100%, doesn't matter what, any country in the world, you're working overtime, you should be getting paid for that overtime.
A union to actually sue Madhouse for the overtime. Studio Ghibli is probably the most widely recognized anime studio in the world, and that's for good reason. Only 2 anime movies have ever won.
This freaking... what is it, Chubby Rabbit? This freaking Chubby Rabbit. I've seen it all the time, but I still haven't watched whatever movie this is from. It never gets voted for. Is it not a good movie?
Oscars, and both belong to Spirited Away and The Boy and the Heron, respectively. In 1985,
I haven't seen The Boy and the Heron. Why haven't I seen that? That won an Academy Award. Why haven't I watched that yet? It's got Dave Bautista in it. Christian Bale, Dave Bautista, William Dafoe, Mark Hamill. Have I seen The Boy and the Heron? What the hell? Robert Pattinson? Florence Pugh? I don't know who Gemma Chan is. God damn, that's the only one there. Oh, and Karen Fukuhara? God damn, that is a lineup and a half.
Miyazaki and Takahata broke off from Toei Animation to form Ghibli, along with Toshio Suzuki. It is worth noting that Hayao Miyazaki is pretty much the face of Studio Ghibli. Every work with his name attached seems to garner a ton more attention.
Yeah, man, this guy
also,
is
if you're wondering why a lot of his movies feature airplanes and casualties of war, his brother's company actually manufactured rudders for planes in World War II. Kind of explains why The Wind Rises was made. After writing his breakthrough manga, Nausicaa of the Valley of the Wind, he ended up directing Ghibli's first ever movie, an adaptation of that same manga, and
incredible,
it was a huge success.
Yeah, it's
this kickstarted the studio's
one of my
legacy.
favorites in the
Ghibli in general
franchise.
is known for their high quality animation, background art, and extremely memorable music by Joe Hisashi. Ghibli films are mostly hand drawn using watercolor and acrylic paints, and most of their movies use traditional animation methods.
So it's so gorgeous.
Drawn and
everything
by
from Studio
hand.
Ghibli
Because
is
of this,
stunning.
their movies give off almost a cozy European vibe that have a lot of emphasis on the nature and backgrounds in each scene. I mean,
my random like reacting to the history of anime video, the European history of anime, like didn't do that well. I don't know why, honestly. It was a really interesting video. So if you're watching this and you haven't checked it out, they actually went into depth on Studio Ghibli and the history around Studio Ghibli. So I know a fair bit about the studio already because of that video. I highly recommend checking it out. But yeah, the European stuff was like all approached in that video.
Seriously, look at the backgrounds in Ghibli films. They look amazing. People usually regard Spirited Away or Totoro as their best work, as they have the most critical acclaim and popularity. Personally, I think Howl's Moving Castle, Grave of the Fireflies, and Princess Mononoke are their best works.
So I've seen Howl's Moving Castle. I like Howl's Moving Castle. Definitely not one of my favorites. The story was interesting. Princess Mononoke, I did like a lot. That was very good. And Grave of the Fireflies, I've never seen, but I've heard it's good. And my brother recently watched it as well.
Wit Studio is a new studio founded in 2012 by Production IG.
I recognize that picture.
Was essentially created
I recognize that picture.
Project, Attack on Titan. Yes, literally one of the best anime of all time was Wit Studio's first project. And
Attack on Titan was a first project from an anime studio. Are you fucking serious? That is crazy. That is crazy. That kind of reminds me of like BTS, like the comparison. BTS was a K-pop rookie group that came from a studio that had no money. And BTS was literally the face of a studio that had no money, and they poured all their heart into BTS. They had no money, no finances, nothing. They were just they weren't a big group at all. Poured all their money into BTS, and then BTS became the biggest K-pop group on the planet. You know? Attack on Titan, the same thing. Same thing. You know what? That's interesting, isn't it? That goes to show that in this world, you don't need the finances, you just need the quality.
And they were also responsible for
some
of the biggest anime, like
I love
Spy
that.
Family and Vinland Saga's first season. Wit Studio is known for their amazing action sequences with dynamic camera angles. And a lot of this can be attributed to Tetsuro Araki. The action and pacing he gave to Attack on Titan's first few seasons has created some of the best action sequences I've ever seen. They've also reportedly started work on a One Piece reboot, which is low-key crazy considering One Piece hasn't even finished, but whatever. On one hand, it's insane to think that they're working on so many projects. But on the other hand, this is the anime industry. So we can imagine what these animators are actually going through. And in 2015, an interview was done with Naganuma, a staff member at Studio Wit. When they asked about his experience, he said, "It's a battlefield. Basically, what you see on Attack on Titan is what I see at Studio Wit. One comrade falls after another. What is going on at Studio Wit?" Apparently,
what the fuck? What the hell? Imagine asking someone how their working conditions are, and they compare it to the thing they're working on, which just happens to be one of the most brutal anime series you've ever seen. That is both, like, funny for the humor, but, like, so sad.
The default lunch of Studio Wit members is energy bars, and they all magically revive after eating one and then go back to work. Yeah, I hope they're exaggerating, because that sounds pretty horrible, not gonna lie. Sunrise
really
Studio was
does,
founded in 1972 and revolutionized how anime was made. Instead of having a production revolve around a single person, they created the role of producers who invested in anime together to mitigate risk. This helped them create many classics like Cowboy Bebop, Patlabor, Code Geass, and of course, the Gundam series. They've also formerly been
not even
all
all of
Bandai
them.
Namco Filmworks, but
there's one guy who comments on all my videos. You're probably watching this right now, and he says react to Gundam openings, bro. What? it's a bit. I need a playlist. like fuck me, man. There's so many.
Calling them Sunrise. As a studio, they're well known for their fluid animation sequences, which gave them the nickname Sunrise Smooth. Honestly, fire cocktail. Like Toei, because they are so big, they have a ton of smaller teams simultaneously working on their projects. And because of that, it's also a mixed bag. Sunrise as a studio is hugely influential. I mean, just take a look at how popular Gundam as a series is. A lot of that can be attributed to Sunrise's great anime adaptations of the franchise. In addition, they produce a ton of great classics and have the name recognition to pull in industry veterans. And that's not the only genre that they've revolutionized. Love Live was created by Sunrise Studio as well, and has pretty much made anime idol girls that much more popular. And in terms of working conditions, it seems that Sunrise is pretty good and treats their full-time employees well. Studio Gainax was founded in 1984 and used to be considered the GOAT of anime studios.
I recognize. Do I recognize the girl on the bottom left? I definitely recognize the girl on the right. Is she from Gurren Lagann? I recognize her. She's every cosplay convention ever.
Big commercial success is considered to be Gunbuster, which is still a widely influential anime, but they would end up making something that was even greater. One of these university students who founded Studio Gainax was named Hideaki Anno, and he would head Neon Genesis Evangelion.
He literally looks like a chef. Like, he really does. He's got that look. You know, give him like a little hat. That guy is like about to whip up something fantastic. And you know what? He did.
Who founded Studio Gainax was named Hideaki
which I've never seen,
and he would
but I've heard
head Neon Genesis Evangelion.
This gets recommended so damn much, man.
This is one of the most influential anime of all time, and is widely considered to be the studio's best and most popular work, and it allowed the studio to keep making great projects. Shows like Karekano, Fooly Cooly, and Gurren Lagann are results of these, and arguably some of the best anime to ever be created. My opinion. The reason Gainax shows are so good is because they're so creative. And a part of this idea is something called the Gainax ending, where a Gainax show will end kind of unexpectedly or weirdly. Either this is done out of an artistic or creative decision, or sometimes it's just done to meet deadlines. But the Gainax ending is known in the anime community as kind of a staple of the studio. But unfortunately, Gainax didn't last forever. Studio Trigger was founded by former Gainax staff members Hiroki Imaishi and Masaki Otsuka in 2011, and it definitely feels like it's carried on that creative spirit that Gainax had. They immediately came out swinging with series like Kill la Kill and movies like Little Witch Academia. Gurren Lagann.
Kill la Kill is one of my brother's favorite anime series, and it gets recommended quite a lot. It's supposed to be very good and very fun. I actually kind of curious about it.
One of Gainax's later works definitely served as the core inspiration for a lot of Trigger's early
I'm noticing
works. Trigger is also known
for
their crazy plot lines and fluid visuals, both of which complement each other perfectly. Their storytelling is often chaotic and comedic at the same time, which helps their exaggerated animations
I've just realized the outfit there is a little bit sus too. Yo, bro, what the hell was that?
Telling is often chaotic and comedic at the same time, which helps their exaggerated animations sell that much more. If you want a good example of some of their recent works, Cyberpunk Edgerunners was absolutely amazing, and Dungeon Meshi is looking to be a more grounded, but still action-packed Trigger show.
I say this all the time, Cyberpunk Edgerunners gets mentioned. It's so funny considering Cyberpunk Edgerunners, when I watched it, I just thought it was okay. I was like, this anime is okay, this is alright. Got to the ending, I was like, that is one of the best endings ever. Damn, amazing ending. The last 2 episodes, fucking peak. And that's how I felt. And since then, Cyberpunk Edgerunners has just become like a love of mine. Now I just think the anime is amazing. Like, I went from thinking it was alright to like, after time has passed, and like seeing clips from it, and like going back and revisiting it a little bit in my own time and that sort of stuff, to absolutely fucking falling in love with that series.
Mappa is one of the most well-known animation studios today for their amazing work on shows like Jujutsu Kaisen. They were founded in 2011 by seasoned anime producer Masayo Maruyama after he left Madhouse. Due to his connections, Mappa was immediately interconnected with the anime industry. But in 2016, Maruyama left and was replaced by Manabu Utsuka, which resulted in huge changes to the company's culture and goals. Mappa as a studio now more has a reputation of being very reckless. They've grown extremely fast due to taking on a bunch of projects and still being able to deliver quality animation. But of course, we talk about anime, we have to talk about their work practices and how they get that quality animation in the first place. Everything from the
It is such a shame because Mappa's work is stunning and gorgeous, and the anime is some of the best anime I have fucking seen. But every time Mappa get mentioned, we need to bring this up too.
The scheduling, the work hours, and even the culture has been criticized at Mappa. This became a trending topic during Jujutsu Kaisen's second season. Animators on Twitter revealed that their time at Mappa was horrible. One person who worked on the final part of Attack on Titan said that they finally got to go home after 3 days. Like, Mappa, what are you doing to the animators? Let them out, please. Unfortunately, Mappa has zero to little reason to stop their practices because the properties
I would actually love to interview an animator. If for some reason anyone watching this video is an animator for any of these studios we're mentioning, or you know they are, or maybe you guys like, maybe I should reach out to some of the ones that were just mentioned there. I feel like interviewing an animator for one of these series could be kind of fun. Like an animator, am I allowed to do that? Would they be allowed to speak to me? If anyone watching this knows anything about it, let me know in the comment section down below. And if anyone wants to reach out to any animators on my behalf, any like Japanese speakers watching this video, feel free. Absolutely reach out to them on my behalf and ask them if they would like to be interviewed on my show, Getting Off Tempo. I would honestly love to talk about them and what it's like working on these anime and these projects.
that they're adapting are some of the biggest in the world, like Vinland Saga Season 2, Chainsaw Man, and Attack on Titan. They also have a ton of connections within the industry, and that's why they're able to get so many talented animators in their studio despite the horrible pay and working conditions. I only hope that it can get better because Mappa is truly working these animators into
one of the
ground.
best scenes.
Kyoto Animation, also known as KyoAni, is very different from Mappa, and it's considered to be the gold standard of workplace culture for anime studios. Founded in the city of Kyoto in 1985, the married couple Yoko and Hideki Hata have, in my research, always fostered a great work culture. And unlike other studios, KyoAni employees are salaried and not freelancers. In addition, they even have training programs for young animators to work underneath supervisors and learn throughout their career. You might be
Kyoto Animation. Obviously, we're going to speak about something in a second. I know it's coming. But I have to say, everything I hear from Kyoto Animation really just makes this studio just sound like the greatest place ever. I love their work ethic, their kindness, their heart. They are a poster child for how any animator studio across the world, not just in Japan, should be like.
Be surprised to hear that most animators aren't even technically full-time employees. But yeah, that is the industry standard. But KyoAni is very different. They have full-time employees that even get benefits like maternity leave, which is insanely good and almost unheard of in the anime industry. Now, why are they able to afford all of this?
How sad is that?
Usually anime studios make very little money, even if their anime does really well. The reason for this is that anime studios don't really fund anime themselves. Production committees do. Depending on the studio and the amount of producers involved, the amount of money that the studio actually sees after an anime can be pretty variable. Mappa, for example, doesn't usually keep a large slice of the pie. KyoAni, on the other hand, he has a huge slice when they produce anime. But why is there a difference? The reason is very unique to KyoAni. In 2009, they started hosting the annual Kyoto Animation Awards in 3 categories: original novel, manga, and scenarios. And a lot of their biggest work have come from these contests, the most notable ones being Chunibyo or Violet Evergarden or even Free. This means that even if the
I've had Free's actually been recommended a bunch. Violet Evergarden to this day is not only one of the most beautiful animated series I've ever seen in my life, but it is one of the best stories I've ever seen. And it forever will be one of my favorite anime ever.
Anime doesn't do amazing, they still make a majority of the revenue from that anime because they are licensing those projects. And because KyoAni doesn't have this pressure of external producers, they can also take way longer to work on their anime. That's why when you watch our shows like Violet Evergarden or Hibiki Euphonium, you can see the love and care in every single shot. I mean, come on, genuinely, look at this animation. This is some of the best animation that the medium has to offer, and all the employees were treated fairly. It's the best of both worlds. Their work culture and business model has been very successful, and I hope the best for them, and I hope more anime studios start to move in this direction. And they're also known for making people cry. I mean, if you watch Clannad or Canon, you know that shit makes you cry, man. A1.
Everyone keeps telling me to watch Clannad. Everybody. I don't want to watch it. I'm scared to fucking watch it, man. I don't want to watch it. I feel like it's going to kick my ass so brutally. Oh, man, it scares the crap out of me to watch Clannad. One day, I'm sure we will. I mean, let's be real. I cried like a baby at Violet Evergarden. You think I got any chance with Clannad?
Pictures was created by a former Sunrise staff producer in 2005. And they're pretty interesting because their works are very variable in terms of animation quality. Usually depends on if the project has the budget and if the production schedule itself is good, but they are well known in the anime community for consistently releasing a ton of anime, more specifically light novel adaptations. A lot of these don't really hold up in the long term, although it's not to say that they never release good looking shows. You know, Sword Art Online, Solo Leveling, and Kaguya-sama all look really good. But at the same time, their releases include Arrow Manga Sensei, which is like, Also,
what was it? What was that picture? What the fuck was that picture? Also, this is a banging lineup, I have to say here. And the fact they left out 86 as well, which is just beautifully well animated. This is a peak lineup.
But at the same time, the releases include Arrow Manga Sensei.
That is a weird picture, bro.
Which is like,
There's a lot,
also in
lot wrong in
2018,
that
a
picture.
section of A1 Pictures broke off into Cloverworks Studios, which is still managed by the same Aniplex parent company, but tends to have a much higher benchmark of animation quality within their shows. It's also worth noting that A1 Pictures has a pretty bad reputation of overworking their employees. In 2014, a 28-year-old employee at A1 Pictures worked over 600 hours a month for 3 years and ended up committing suicide. This has forever stained their reputation. Shame on you, A1 Pictures. Saru was founded in 2013 by...
What the hell? Hey, honestly, I know this is a fun video, but it definitely needs to be mentioned. These people give us some of the best content that we consume as anime fans. And it just sucks that they aren't treated like the royalty that they fucking are. Because they are. We don't get none of this if it's not for them. They are absolute royalty in this space and scene, and they deserve so much more love and recognition. It is unbelievable.
Famous anime director Masaki Yuasa and animator Eun Choi, who had a long history with Yuasa. Their first work as a studio was actually an episode of Adventure Time, but their first series was Ping Pong the Animation. In addition, they don't really care about the nationality of their employees, instead choose them based on their skill. This means that a ton of Science Saru employees aren't even Japanese. As a studio, Science Saru is known for being out of the box. They experiment with really insane color palettes and are not afraid to push the envelope with series like Devilman Crybaby, which has tons of gore, gay sex scenes, and a whole lot more that I can't show. A lot of their weird...
Goddamn. Goddamn. Damn, Devil May Cry, baby.
Energy does come from Masaki Yuasa, but Science Saru recently released Scott Pilgrim Takes Off, which is just as weird despite not being
Scott
directed
Pilgrim
by Yuasa.
anime?
If you want some more Science Saru recommendations, I would highly recommend Devilman Crybaby, Ping Pong the Animation, and Keep Your Hands Up Azuka. Also, watch out for
I do want to watch Devilman.
It's coming out soon and is in by Science Saru. I'm really excited for this one.
Oh shit! Oh shit! Dun da dun. I'm saying right now, Dun da dun is honestly one of the most beautiful animated series I've ever seen in the weirdest, most cheeky and brutal fashion. It is fucking amazing. If you ain't watching it, you're missing out. Goddamn, man, Science Saru are amazing.
Studio Shaft was founded in 1975 and are known for their experimental visual styles. Some popular examples of Shaft anime are Madoka Magica or the Monogatari series. You can immediately tell that you're watching a Studio
Monogatari might actually end up being the next Patreon exclusive anime we watch because it gets recommended all the time. So many people want me to watch it. It might actually be the next Patreon exclusive anime series. I don't know how big it is, but
due to the work of directors Akiyuki Shinbo, Shino Numa, and Tatsuya Oishi.
Man, Akiyuki Shinbo looks badass. Look at him.
This Team Shinbo led to very distinct stylistic ideals with whatever project that they were working on. Sometimes they would use sharp color contrast.
It looks like you should be the main actor for the Japanese version of Old Boy.
And even place real-world objects within the animation itself. All of this gives Studio Shaft anime a really surrealist feeling, which I think is super cool. The Monogatari series also features iconic moments like the Shaft head tilt, which is actually confirmed by Team Shinbo to be a Studio Shaft staple. Although Shaft...
They love that, don't they? Like, head up, and they go, eh. The guy at the bottom right looks weird as hell. The other two look fine.
Shaft has lost a lot of their core staff over time.
That's probably how I look.
The disbandment of Team Shinbo, they still produce popular shows.
Don't think I didn't see the size of the freaking bazookas on the random girl running through the red thing. Alright, I'm just saying. I was going to point it out, but I thought I was better than that. But then I ended up pointing it out anyway.
Like March Comes In Like a Lion and Quintessential Quintuplets.
Another two that have been recommended.
Ufotable was founded in 2000 by Hikaru Kondo after he split from Telecom Animation Film. They're well known for their strong relationship with the game company Type Moon, and they've adapted a ton of their games, like the Fate series and Garden of Sinners, as well as working with them to create animations for their in-game cutscenes. Ufotable is most notable for their incredibly vibrant and colorful animation. As I'm sure many of you have seen with Demon Slayer, arguably Ufotable is the best studio in the industry at combining 3D computer graphics with traditional 2D sakuga. Like KyoAni, Ufotable hires a lot of their employees full-time and is regarded as one of the better animation companies to work for. I'm not really...
Anyone else noticing a pattern? Anyone else noticing a fucking pattern? If you treat your employees nice, you pay them well, you look after them, oh shit, you get the best quality product. That's crazy. How does that work? I know, it's almost like if I had a plant, okay, here's a plant, okay, if I trod on, destroyed this plant, it probably wouldn't grow. But if I nurture the plant, I give it sunlight, I give it food, I give it space, the plant grows and it's beautiful. Now I know that's a weird analogy, but it's fucking true. You know, if you look after these employees, if you give them the money, you give them the space, you give them the time, you get the reward, you get the product. Can you not see it? The best studios that create the best anime follow those practices. Ufotable is fucking insane. Honestly, Fate and Demon Slayer have some of the best fight scenes and some of the best animation I have ever seen. Are you kidding me, man? You're kidding me. The Fate series has some of the best fights I just ever, man. It's incredible.
Sure where they're getting all that money from, but wait a second, they committed tax fraud? Yeah, this is something that I actually didn't know about until I made this video, but apparently Hikaru Kondo refused to pay around $4 million in taxes, and also the Japanese government made a report noting that Ufotable was suspected of misappropriating funds from a charity auction for the 2011 Tohoku earthquake. They never ended up filing charges, but Kondo resigned, and because of this, he is now facing up to 20 months in prison. Top G move, if you ask me. Studio...
No, not a top G move. Taking money from a charity is the opposite of a top G move. I mean, the work is very good. The charity thing, that's not good. But the work is very good. Let's move on.
Bones was founded in 1988 by former Sunrise staff members who were bored on working on mecha anime and wanted to try.
I love it when you know the anime and the poster and you're just like, holy shit. Because I know that's Mob Psycho 100. And that's some of the most gorgeous animation I've seen as well.
More creative projects.
God damn. No
Studio
more mecha.
Bones is most well known for their insanely well-executed fight and action sequences.
Fullmetal Alchemist Brotherhood.
You could argue that they have some of the best sakuga in the industry right now. A huge reason that they're known for this is because of Yutaka Nakamura, known as one of the GOATs
God damn,
in
this
animation.
studio crushes.
Techniques like the Yutapon cube, which is where debris forms cubes to show the destruction. You can see the influence of Yutapon cubes across the industry. I mean, even in The Legend of Korra, I've seen Yutapon cubes made for debris. And even now, Nakamura continues to innovate at Bones. Because of this, they've created some absolute bangers over the years, like Cowboy Bebop the movie, the Fullmetal Alchemist series, Mob Psycho 100, or on High School Host Club, My Hero...
Yeah, or in High School Club thing. It's the best one. That's amazing. Honestly, that lineup is fucking peak.
Movie, the Fullmetal Alchemist series,
I gotta see
Mob
Cowboy
Psycho
Bebop
100,
movie.
or on High School Host Club, My Hero Academia. I mean, much more. Just go through Bones' catalog.
Damn, man.
It is impeccable.
I can't wait to watch My Hero
was founded
Academia.
by 3D CG animator Eiji Inomoto in 2004.
Trigun
Who is well known
Stampede.
for his works in
One of my
Ghost in the
favorite
Shell and
anime
Zoids,
openings.
specifically the 3D animation part. The studio mainly did outsource 3D animation until
His hair is
2013,
wild.
when they started doing co-production with other studios to make shows like Black Bullet. But then Orange started making completely new anime, with shows like Land of the Lustrous being met with great critical reception for actually having good CG. Studio Orange is so unique in their approach to 3D animation that I can genuinely tell that they understand the strengths of CG and how to play into them. Usually in 2D anime, CG is just kind of thrown in there when an object is difficult to animate, and it doesn't usually blend all that well. Meanwhile,
Berserk?
Studio Orange makes sure that all of their models feel like they are genuinely alive instead of just stiff figurines. The character expressions genuinely feel magical and alive, almost Disney-like, but with that anime touch. And this is because they don't shy away from using 2D animation to first sketch out what the facial expressions might look like. Using both mediums like this results in a product that is greater than the sum of its parts. And you can see this clearly in their newest series, Trigun Stampede, where Vash's facial expressions and movements just feel so fluid and alive. I genuinely love them. Their 3D animation doesn't make me gross out or wish that the studio had more budget to just make it 2D instead, because the anime genuinely looks better in 3D, and I think it's a sign of more 3D animation to come. Before I end this video, I want to let y'all know that I stream on Twitch a lot. Check out my Twitter for updates on videos and dumb memes. And lastly, I want to say that there were a ton of other anime studios that I want to talk about, mainly studios like Production IG or Period, but with only 15 slots, I wanted to try and cover the most popular or my personal favorite studios. And I understand that you're mad, or, I didn't mention certain ones. Anyway, that's all for me. Peace.
Well, that's all right. And because there is a part 2. There is a part 2. So, if you guys want part 2, you know what to do. You press that like button, you press that subscribe button, you leave a comment. I do apologize for my nose being so unbelievably awful. Hopefully you all can forgive me. I can imagine it's not like the best, but I do apologize. I don't know what I've got. I don't know, whatever I've got has just lasted so long. I feel like every video I've uploaded for like the last week and a half, I've not even sounded like me, and now, whatever I have has adapted to today. My nose is running. The last 4 days have just been my throat's really sore, and now it's like, you know what? Have a runny nose. It's like, thanks. What the fuck am I gonna get tomorrow? What is going on? Jesus. Leave me alone, whatever I've got. Damn. So support me, because I'm ill, and I deserve the love by pressing that like button and pressing that subscribe button, leaving a comment, share my videos, make me famous. Come on, let's do it. 1 million subscribers from this video alone. Let's do it. So 2 things. I want to say, if this video does well, if it gets enough likes, enough support, then we'll do part 2. Should I set like a like goal? Maybe I should set a like goal or like a view goal. All right, whichever happens first. 1.5k likes. That might be too low. 2,000 likes or 25,000 views. Whichever one happens first, I'll do part 2. There you go. Nice. We did that with the Detective Conan series, and people actually enjoyed the goals. I never do that ever. There you go. Part 2 will be recorded and uploaded the second this video either hits 2,000 likes or 25,000 views. There you go. There you go. So share it, go crazy, and then the second that hits it, I'll upload part 2. I'm actually really curious about part 2 anyway, so I do want to see it. A huge shout out Ari Kendo's channel. Make sure you go subscribe and make sure you go show them love. They're the ones who put these videos together. They deserve all the freaking credit for it. They're amazing. Link to their channel is in the description. Shout out them. Considering their videos do so well, get like millions of views, I'm surprised they don't have more subscribers. They've only got 60,000 subs. So please go show them a bit of love. Honestly, it's cool seeing the studios and names I recognize and also learning a bit more about studios names I've never even heard before. And I love that you can see the patterns with the studios, you know? Like Sunrise, for example, being so heavily focused on mechs, and then having like a split-off studio that then went off and created non-mech content, which I feel like is kind of interesting as well, how that forms. And then like a lot of the bigger studios all come from like other studios. Like even Mappa was literally created from another studio. And it's so cool how you almost have like these like 3 or 4 big names that just like split off over time and spread out and just created all these studios we love. And almost all of the studios we know have come from other studios. You know, it's like, oh, this studio, yeah, they used to be part of this studio, which used to be part of this studio. And it is actually like that Russian doll effect, you know? Like, that's actually what it feels like. And it's really interesting learning about all the freaking connections there and how everything links. And then also, when you see the studios laid out like this, you get more of a familiarity with their art styling as well. Like, you watch it and it shows you the anime they do. Like, I didn't even realize how closely My Hero Academia and Mob Psycho 100 were in terms of animation styling until I just saw them side by side there. And it's thoughts like, and like Fullmetal Alchemist Brotherhood, not so much, actually, which is interesting. But I love that you can sort of see the familiar sort of styles and tropes that the studios like put in their work, and it sort of gets highlighted by this. And you're like, everything kind of makes sense, you know? Which I really freaking love. This honestly was a fantastic video. I'm really enjoying these videos where I'm getting to learn more about anime, like behind the scenes. And I feel like it'd be a fantastic idea to interview some animators. So if you are an animator, let me know, because I would honestly love to. I've really been trying to interview some voice actors, interview some animators. I've like the guy who like English voice actors are quite like, maybe I could interview some of them, you know, for some famous characters. Like the solo leveling one is quite popular as well. But yeah, it would honestly be a lot of fun to like interview some people in the anime scene. So this is an open invitation. If you work in the anime scene, just email me. Email me. You've got my business email. It's literally everywhere. Email me. Let me know. Show me, like, be like, I work in the anime scene. Whatever. Like, or if you guys want to reach out to someone you know and ask them, happily, and then we can help promote their work or anything like that. That'd be awesome. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed my reaction. Thank you so much for watching. Let me know if you had to pick one anime studio, which one are you picking? What's your favorite out of all the ones we checked out today? Or if that's too difficult, give me like your top 3. Anyway, have an awesome freaking day. Don't forget to like and subscribe. I love all of you wonderful people. Let me know what you want me to react to next. And as always, my friends, you will see me in the next video.